Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Stock Market Show. This is your host, Shades. As always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I'm dancing my head back and forth, side to side. But no, seriously.
This is incredible. I'm getting it.
You're getting what?
A stock.
What stock?
Alright guys, let's talk about the stock market. But before I do, just look above my head. Yep, right up there, look above my head. Shades I bought at 11, sold at 18, made 40K. People making money. People making money in the Discord. Don't forget to join the Discord. Patreon.com/shadesandtrades. I follow Shades pretty tight and have made a lot of money with him. You made me money on RXRX. And this guy has a whole portfolio that he calls the Shades portfolio. All of it green apparently. Except for APLD. Right now he's probably crying. I don't know why he didn't sell when I sold, but it is what it is. If you follow me to a T, you will be surprised by how much you can make. Let's talk about the stock market here. MLGO, I called this one in the morning. I'm like, hey, every time this one gaps up, loves to have big runs. Gap up and run. Gap up and run. As soon as I saw that it was up in pre-market, I was like, well, if it's going to do what it always does, right? Because we like to abuse patterns of that the market presents to us, then guess what? I saw this gap and I'm like, guys, just buy it open and ride it up. Anyone who did that, congratulations. Easiest money you'll ever make. I told you, buy it open, set a tight stop, and you'll be fine. Gold skyrocketing here. I don't like gold, don't care for it. I like buying cheap. I've been waiting for years now for it to come back down to the 200 WMA, and it has not. So yeah, kind of sucks. I'm never buying gold, I guess, until it comes down nice and cheap. So gold, you don't want to buy it when it's this far away from the two. Yeah, when this drops, it's going to be ugly. Anyone buying up here is going to get destroyed because, you know, the last time it went that far up, look at that, 190 dropped to a low of 168, 193 dropped to a low of 150. Every single time it's gone up this far above the 200, 194 down to 157. It's still a good one to hold long term, but in terms of percentage return, you'll get more return just buying Nvidia or the many other least. You can just buy ARGB to get exposure to Bitcoin's movement as well. There's better stocks to buy, or it's not even a stock, it's a metal. There's better opportunities elsewhere, because I mean, it's if this thing would have to move to 6,000, gold would have to move to like 6,000 and something to even get you 100%. So I guess it's good for safety, but if you're looking to make big bucks, you gotta go with stocks here. Okay, ARGB, ETF that follows Bitcoin. I'm looking for this one to come down. I even marked it here. Come down as low as 75. I'm looking to buy at 75. This one gives you good exposure to Bitcoin's movement. When Bitcoin pumps, this one follows it. So when everything else was green, Bitcoin, ARGB, they rose like $3 to $5. So if you want to take advantage of Bitcoin's movement without actually getting into crypto, ARGB is the way to go. Watching for 75 and under. Netflix might make a good short on puts tomorrow because it's getting rejected pretty hard here. If the market continues to come down, I would play puts to the downside here. This is the only reason it even moved today is earnings. Other than that, this thing would have gone down. So I wouldn't, if you want to play puts on this one, puts on a cross under on the MACD, on the smaller time frames, would be not a bad idea. So puts on Netflix tomorrow. WRD, I don't care for this one. Silver, don't care for metal either. Right now, silver, you know what's funny? Silver is actually close to its 200 weighted moving average, but silver kind of just tends to go sideways. I don't like it as much as gold, but let me look at the monthly. I mean, over the long term, it's been climbing, but do I really want to buy up here? I don't know. I don't know if I want to buy all the way up here. It's too expensive right now. I think buying the physical silver is like what, $35 or something after premiums. Screw that. I bought it back when it was at $20. I'm not paying 50% more for it compared to back then. Don't care for this one. Domino's Pizza's been going sideways here for what, since 2024 of last year. Nah, I wouldn't want to buy something that just can't even climb higher. It's just going sideways at this point. Donald Trump stock. I think in the bull market this will recover, but for the time being, I would expect this one to come down with the market as well. Although I'm surprised it's up right now. Yeah, I'm surprised that it's up. Interesting. It's barely up. I mean, look at that, 0.05, but I think that one will recover in the bull market. MSTR is a good short opportunity. I think this should come down and retest the 200. I could see this coming back down under 300 and tanking. It's essentially in the trading range here between 236 and 322. So anytime it comes up here, it just always gets pushed down. So it might be a good short opportunity for MSTR. Probably keep an eye on Bitcoin and see how it's moving. If Bitcoin starts dumping, more than likely just short the pops. With some puts, keep in mind they're very volatile. So I would go with puts that are the gamma and delta are lower. Unless you like getting destroyed. Domino's Pizza we talked about. APLD, I think I already made a video on this one. We'll see what happens with this one, but I don't expect much anymore. It wants to be a real estate stock, so it's kind of like people were in it for the AI story, not real estate. So I think this one's just kind of gonna, in my opinion, it's gonna go nowhere. Maybe over the course of a decade it climbs back up, but I'd be surprised. Maybe the AI hype, maybe volume comes into it. But if people know it's a real estate stock in the future, if in the future it's actually a real estate trust fund, then what's the point? If it's a REIT, what's the point? It's probably not going to get the AI hype and volume like it did last time. But we'll see, right? On the monthly, this is actually at a clear point where you should be buying. Like, this is monthly support. This is like chef's kiss here in terms of technicals. But I was buying it for the AI hype, not for the... Yeah, I wasn't buying it for real estate. Coinbase, again, a short opportunity here if it breaks down. Same thing with MSTR. I think all of them are going to get... If the market tanks tomorrow, we're going to just see Bitcoin and, the miners and everything just fall. Let's see. AIMD. This one loves to come down near 0.40 to 0.46, and it's a buy down here and hold it for the flip. It loves to come up as high as 0.50. Sometimes it pumps huge right to $1, sometimes to 0.64, so you can make it like a nice 50%er. But you gotta sit on it. You gotta be patient and let it come. All right, let's get the promo out of the way. Get 50% off your first month, ends May 1st. If you want to join the Discord, we have finally revamped it. We got the Start Here section where you can read all about what we are doing in the Discord. We got resources, Learn with Shade series for those who are beginners and want to go from nothing to where I am today. If I can do it, anyone can. We also got a general chat for people who just want to communicate about the stock market or anything in general. Then we got the poker table, where we go over charts and any opportunities that are out there. As you can see, MLGO day trade idea, history of run-ups after gaps. I have no day trading strategy since I'm a swing trader, but I did suggest buying the dip at open with a tight stop, and that thing ran, as you can see here, 74%. So if you bought at open with a tight stop, guess what? It just ran. So we call out anything that could potentially move for the day and any big swings. The alerts room is where I personally alert anything that I'm going to jump into. If you want to follow me T for T, the alerts room is for you. I tell you my buys and myself. It's up to you if you want to follow me. The NVIDIA 100 alerts room, that is the 100% win rate challenge, where we're going to take 10K to $1 million over the course of 7 to 12 years, achieving 100% win rate. I know it sounds crazy, it sounds insane, but if you follow it, you'd be surprised. So that's what that room is for, the trade tracker, so you can keep track of every single trade that I take in Excel. You click on those links and you can see everything, win, loss, P&L, etc., etc. And the daily discussion 3 p.m. room from 3 p.m. to 3:30. We go over what's going on with the markets and what can come next. So there you go, that's the promo. Don't forget to join patreon.com/shadesandtrades. Now back to the video. Come back to 0.40-ish, accumulate the position, and then be patient for the pump. And you can take the 20% or 50% and just keep abusing that bottom. That's really what it is. We're abusing that bottom, that pattern. So that's a good one. QTOM here represents the quantum stocks. It's just going to continue to come down. If we see this come down to 63, we should see the quantum stocks fall down as well, real cheap. So I'm waiting for the ETF to get cheap, which should represent the quantum stocks getting real cheap. On the weekly chart, the 200 WMA weekly, you'll notice it comes down to this, and it bounced. So I wonder if we're going to come back down to it, or if the trend line is going to be respected here. I mean, this is like, this trend line has to hold, or we're coming on down to the 200 on the weekly at least, for the quantum ETF, which again represents the Rigetti and IonQ and all those other quantum stocks. SPY-D, it follows the SPY, and it's dividend, and you just buy it and flip it. You don't really buy it for the dividends, you just buy it to flip it. So I'm waiting to see if this is going to come down to 37, 38-ish before I buy. I wanted to buy today, but I'm like, you know what? If everything's just going to come down, I'll wait. No reason to force trades. Okay, AITX, I believe this one will come down to 000. So this one's dead in the water. As far as I'm concerned, it's dead. It's dead. I really don't. Isn't there a stock called KSCP? Yeah, KSCP, similar sector, industry, and what does it do? It just keeps tanking over the long term. Look at that. It's been going down since 2022. It just, even if it is on the higher exchange, it's just doing an AITX with it. You know, it's got its pumps, but it always just keeps going lower. So not a good look for AITX. If it ever uplists, it's just gonna, you know, if it uplists, not a good look. It might just tank, like KSCP here. Uplist to higher exchange does not automatically mean lots of money in the bank. Let me put it that way. GameStop, always a buy when it comes down to 20. Always a buy. That's like the line in the sand here. So do not buy it up here at 25, 26, or 30. Always wait for 20s, and especially low 20s, 20 to 21. Accumulate it, buy it down there, and then it pumps again. Rinse and repeat. Like, this is another bottom abuse stock. You just abuse the bottom. We're bottom abusers apparently. SoFi, I don't care for it personally, so I'm not going to talk about. Microsoft, let me look at the yearly. Well, this one, yeah, this is okay. Yeah. Let me see the monthly. Wow, weekly support on the 200 WMA. Huh? Every time it's come down here, it's been oh man, look at that V-shaped drop. Microsoft, every time it's come down to its 200 WMA on the weekly, it usually goes under it quite a bit still. So I wouldn't buy it yet. I was going to say to buy it. Technically it is. It's a massive discount from highs, but I would wait. I would wait, seeing that it likes to go under it and likes to drop. It can drop quite a bit under that 200. But anywhere under the 200 WMA on the weekly, it's usually start accumulating. I mean, we're already way below it on the daily. On the weekly, it's even like it's pretty bad. That's what that means too. Not a good look. Apple added weekly 200 WMA, which like I said, this is the same thing. It always kind of bounces off of that, and you're also getting a massive discount from highs. So you'd be buying at 22 versus 30 here. You'd be buying at 50. Would you rather buy at 55 or down here at 34? Would you rather buy up here at 181 or down here at 127? Like, anytime it comes down to its 200 WMA on the weekly, it's a massive discount. So I would give Apple a buy. Same thing with Microsoft. But if you want to wait and see if it's going to go lower, go ahead. But it's a buy on the weekly 20. This is sad that we have to talk about the weekly 200 WMA, not the daily. Definitely a buy for Apple and Microsoft. SPY, no, I don't want to talk about those. Shopify. Yeah, we got to start looking at the weekly. So Shopify, I would wait for like $70 and under. Yeah, 70 and under for Shopify. Shopify's a good one. Rigetti, like I said, Rigetti, quantum stocks as a whole, I would expect them to come down lower, and that's represented by the quantum ETF. So we would expect that to come back down to 6 if we continue to just drop over and over again. Let me see what else. Didn't I already talk about AIMD? Yeah. Palantir. Palantir again. you see where support is? I see it. It's down here at around 70 and under. So I would look to buy Palantir at 70, not 90. Like, it already came down here in the 70s twice. So just wait. Do not buy it up here at 90, in my opinion. Wait for 70s. Clearly, people love it at 70s. Mags, the magnificent 7. Again, if the mags is tanking, we're gonna see all of them. We're just gonna see them get real cheap. This is opportunity, guys. Too many people are crying because I don't understand. No. This is what you want. When the dip is here, you buy it. You don't get scared. If this happens in the bear market, imagine a bull run. It's just gonna be, zoom. It's gonna be money. But you got to go through some pain first. This happens all the time, and it's gonna be okay. Soundhound, I still like Soundhound. I have no issues with Soundhound. Love Soundhound. Looking to buy this one under 6. A lot of stocks, like I said, if everything's gonna fall, we're just gonna see things get even cheaper than they already are. So I'm just gonna wait for 6 and under. LAES, is this a quantum stock? I believe so. So this is just gonna follow the ETF, so it should come down under. Damn, we're gonna see this one under $2. It's gonna be crazy. I wonder how cheap is everything gonna get. I wonder. Big Bear AI, next contract is gonna send it. For the time being, it's under the 200. Continue to accumulate it. If you want to buy at the perfect time, quote unquote perfect time, you'll notice on the weekly MACD, the last time it crossed over on the weekly MACD, let me just show you something here. It crossed over right here, right? Here's the crossover. It was at around like $2. And after that crossover on the weekly, what happened? What happened, guys? Do you see what happened? After that crossover, it just skyrocketed to 10. It just trended to the upside. It crossed under here and it just trended to the downside. So if you want to wait for like the signal, wait for the weekly crossover on BBAI and then start buying in and accumulating. If you just want to be part of the bull run and ignore, you just don't care to buy here in the bear market and accumulate as it goes lower. Wait for the weekly crossover on BBI. So you kind of have to make your choice. Do you want to buy now and accumulate and as it goes lower, or do you wait for the weekly crossover? Up to you. HIMS, what a fall from the sky here, way above the 200 at 75 and tanked. It's barely holding on here at 25. If 25 doesn't hold, we're going to come down to we can come down to 12 apparently. 12 and 20. That is insane. Huge discounts. Remember when Palantir dropped from 40 to 5 and then ran to 125? We're going to see a lot of stocks in the bull market recover. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be awesome. But you gotta live with the pain. HIMS, I give it a buy as well. Serve Robotics. Serve Robotics here. It's not showing the kind of strength that Soundhound is. Like both of them dropped at the same time when Nvidia sold it off. And I'm noticing that Soundhound was able to hold up there at 8. And whereas Serve is kind of just keeps going. Like it doesn't have the support that Sound has. Let me put it that way. Quite literally, the support, but also the technical support. So I don't like this one. That's why I haven't talked about that one. If I'm going to take a risk, I'd just rather go with the other one. What's the other one that I really like? RR stock, Rich Tech Robotics. I'd rather go with that. Nightscope, no, don't care. Nvidia, people ask me, hey, is Nvidia a buy? And I'm like, why would we buy here? Cross under just happened. The last time we got a cross under, it still tanked quite a bit. Cross under happened here, tanked. Like every cross under, it just tanks. So I'm gonna wait for 86 and under for Nvidia stock. Trust me, I want to buy, but I'm gonna wait. Uranium is a buy at 4 and under. Anytime it's come down to 4 and under, it's a buy. It's a buy. Like don't overthink it. Remember, everything's dropping because the market as a whole is coming down, not because anything's fundamentally wrong with uranium or Nvidia, especially because they had good earnings. And you got to recognize that. Rich Tech Robotics here, this is like, if I'm going to buy a robotic stock, this is the one. to keep an eye on. I'm going to do a big due diligence packet. Going to reach out to the CEO and do an interview. I got a lot coming for this one. I really like what I'm seeing with this one. So much so that I'm actually going to reach out to the CEO and see if I can get an interview with them and ask a bunch of questions. So look forward to that. That's going to be, I'm going to start doing more interviews with CEOs and stuff. I think that's something that's missing for this channel. So Rich Tech Robotics, keep an eye out for $1.50 and under is where I'm looking to accumulate. Tesla, oh, that's just gonna come down lower. The lowest it came to back then was 139, and yeah, anytime this one goes to like $100, it's always recovered. So at this point, if it's gonna continue to do what it's always done, just wait for 100, like wait for 100, 150 at this point. That's when people get really scared. Like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. It's at 100, and then it skyrockets to like 279 or 488. So you really want to wait for this one to come down to like the hundreds, in my opinion. SMCI, if this is going to break its support here at 25 to 27, should come down to 17 to 20. Which also means NVIDIA broke its support. So I would look for 17 to 20 on SMCI. Wow, AITX, look at that one. This is why I took the loss, because I'm like, this is getting ready to come down to 0003s. I mean, it's a double zero. It's literally a tenth of a penny stock. It's a penny stock. It's a tenth of a penny. Of course, it's super risky. Of course, you got to take the loss at some point and just recognize, hey, this is it. This is over, and move on. So this one, I think this is dead. Color stock, waiting for $1 and under. I think nothing more needs to be said with color stock. $1 and under, this is a buy. Just keep in mind, in the bear market, a lot of stocks are going to recover, and a lot of stocks aren't. Let's hope that this is one of the ones that recovers. So far, because it continues to have good earnings, there's nothing to be concerned about. This is where, when you're in a bear market, knowing the fundamentals and reading the financials and keeping track of what the company's going through and doing behind the scenes, like this is, that due diligence is where it really helps you keep a cool head. Cyberlux, damn. Well, the market as a whole is dropping, so I don't know what to think of this. I'm still gonna hold. I'm not concerned. Even when it dropped to triple zeros here, it still recovered to 77s. Came down to double zeros, triple zeros, and recovered. It always has these pumps here. You gotta really sit on this one. Really, everything you gotta sit on it, right? I think Sybil, if we're being real, it started dropping when everything else started dropping. Like this went into a bear market along with everything else. So it kind of makes sense. This one has no heavy dilution as far as we're aware. Like nothing has changed with story, so this one's still a buy. I'm not gonna buy. I already have a position. I'm just gonna sit on it. That's about it. Bitcoin is pumping. It's very strange, this disconnect between Bitcoin and the market. So we'll see how this continues to move. If you want to get exposure to Bitcoin without buying the Bitcoin itself, as I continue to scroll into lots of red, ARGB is the way to go. That's what I'm watching for. Because if Bitcoin's just going to go on a huge run while the market as a whole tanks, I'm going to just buy ARGB. Because that's just going to follow Bitcoin and not the markets. So there you go, guys. That's it for the video. As always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.